up? It's Wafaz. We're at the Six Nations Powwow of the Grand River, my home community, and we're going to walk around and ask some community members a very important question that everybody should know the answer to. Who are you, and why, as an ally, is it important to you to protect Indigenous women, girls, and Two Spirits from getting kidnapped or murdered?
My name is Tristan. I think it's an important thing because, as an ally, both communities, this should be an issue for both communities. I think it's crazy that a blind eye has been turned for so long to these issues.
What's your name, and why is protecting Indigenous women, girls, and Two Spirits important to you specifically?
So, Scanosagwego, my name is Carrie Hill, and I am Miss Six Nations for 2023-24. And for me specifically, so my kind of like whole ambassadorship, I've been going through and like making sure that Indigenous women, specifically like young girls from our community from Six Nations, feel like they're able to like kind of uplift and like say what they want to say and be who they want to be. So Indigenous women are, again, the most vulnerable population within Canada, and it's important that we protect them because in Haudenosaunee culture we always talk about women as being life givers, and the only way we're able to build strong communities is through strong women, and protecting them and making sure that they feel safe enough to not only move within our community but being able to say what they want to say and be who they want to be. If we don't support our women, we're really not going anywhere as people. They hold a lot of knowledge. They have a lot of things that they can share and give. Yeah, if we don't have women, we don't really have a people.
Who are you, and why is it important to you specifically to protect Indigenous women, girls, and Two Spirits from going missing or becoming murdered?
My name is Crystal River, and it's important to me that we protect Indigenous women and Two Spirits. They're our life force, you know, that feminine energy. It's sacred, it's powerful, and it's what we need in this world to like survive as a collective. Women are, and that feminine side is that very nurturing side, that loving side, that compassionate side. It gives us that will to go on, to live, to feel cared for. And I think as human beings, we've kind of lost our way and forgotten how important it is for us to feel truly cared for and nurtured, and we need to do that. And the women and that feminine energy, it's that reminder of that, and it's that caring, safe space, and it's really important to do that. And also that feminine is, and the Indigenous women, like that's like Mother Earth in human form, you know, like that carries that carries they're the life givers, you know, but we also have that sacred connection to Mother Earth. And whenever I see like the harm being done to our women, I cannot help but reflect that to the harm that's being done to Mother Earth. You see, they're also raping and pillaging and destroying Mother Earth before our very eyes, and then they're also doing it to the women in real time too as well. And it's devastating, and it hurts on an immense level. And I think it's just important in general. Like if you have a heart and a conscience and a spirit, like you just know that that's wrong. But like even when you talk about just basic survival of the collective of humanity, and like the continuing of our species and others, many species on this planet Earth, like that's something we absolutely 100% need to do, is protect women, protect Mother Earth, protect that divine feminine energy, and all those who carry it.
Who are you, and why is it important to you specifically to protect Indigenous women, girls, and Two Spirits from going murdered and missing?
My name is Brian General, and I'm from Seneca Nation, Turtle Clan, and I live here on Six Nations. It's really important that as the men of the community, you know, that we protect all of the women, the children, and the two-spirited people, you know, because it's become an urgent issue in all of the Native communities and in the cities as well, because we're now, it seems that that Native people have become a target, you know, for this new, well, not so new, but has become a bigger target lately now than any other time. So it's and I support it 100%. I do it myself. People call me in the middle of the night and saying that there's issues going on. I was like, all right, I'm on my way. Like it's important that we have that everybody does it, right? Like men and women, and jump in there. And if you can protect somebody, that's what we should be doing now, because we should have learned something over that pandemic, that it's not about race, it's not about culture, it's not about it's not about any race. It's the human race that we should be more concerned about, and we should be uniting one another and empowering one another to become stronger and become able to look at somebody and go, can you help me? And that person go, yes. So that it's important. It's very important, and I'm all for it. Like I'm part of the Red Rum Motorcycle Club too, and we're involved in that all across Canada. We go and support MMIW. We go and we get phone calls as well. That we'll get a phone call saying, my niece is missing in Toronto. We're on the phone as we're heading to Toronto to go and look for her. And we have all of our contacts all over the city too. So that's what that's part of the club's thing, is that we're here to protect the community. So it's very important. It's very important that people start to understand this. That it's not just it's become such a large issue that it can't be ignored anymore. Like how the government and the police and all of them have been trying to just ignore it and push it away. It's time that like it can't be. So we have to do something about it. Yeah.
Who are you, and why is it specifically important to you to protect Indigenous women, girls, and two spirits from going missing or murdered?
My name is Dakota Brant. I'm a member of the Mohawk Nation Turtle Clan here at Six Nations of the Grand River Territory, where we are situated today. I think it needs to be clear that it's not just important to take care of our missing murdered Indigenous women and girls, our LGBTQ two-spirit community. It's about, we're not asking for more than what you expect for anyone. What we're looking for is equity in that area, where anyone in this country that we're in should feel like they're safe, and that safety shouldn't be anything less than an expectation for any person living here. What I like that we're living in the era of truth and reconciliation, where a lot of Canadians are starting to understand what colonial trauma, what colonial violence is, and what it means, and what the intergenerational effects of it is. But we have to understand too that Canadians are also being impacted by those intergenerational effects, meaning there is a less of an emphasis on equity when it comes to safety for people. The high levels of incarceration that we're seeing among Indigenous women and men, being missing and murdered, is because we're being put in those places where we're not being taken seriously. And again, that's a colonial impact. It's a perception that exists in the Canadian mindset today. A Canadian might not think that colonial violence hasn't impacted them, but at the same time, when they're benefiting from places where we are specifically being denied safety, that's that continuity. And we're trying to get to that point where Canadians are kind of understanding that, and their place in their place of privilege in society today. So to me, we're not asking for more than what we would hope that any person in this country would have. And as long as it takes us being vocal about that, and being forceful and pushing into the mainstream to make sure that those voices are going to be counted, it's gonna seem like we're asking for a lot, but we're not asking for more than what we would expect for any brother or sister across this country. Yeah.
Who are you, and why is it important to you specifically to protect Indigenous women, girls, and two spirits from going missing or murdered?
My name is Sid Bob. My mom's the late Lee Miracle Bun from Tsleil-Waututh, people of the Inlet. My dad's Ray Bob from Stalo, people of the river. So we're Salish folks, salmon eating folks, ocean folks, river folks, and my mom told me a few stories, and one was that the salmon were a gift to the women, and so that as men, our responsibility is to treat them lovingly, no violence to the women, or the salmon will stop swimming upriver. And when me and my wife Penikuchi were married, my aunt Joan and Joyce, they gave us this beautiful wedding blanket, and the wolf at the center with the moon up top on one side. So sometimes men, I will be at the center of the relationship, and then on the other side, my wife's clan was at the center, and I was at, and so that we have to have share that balance. And she said there is never to be a lashing tongue to women. So I grew up surrounded by violence, and my mom left my dad because of the violence from my dad to my mom. And she said, "I can't write if there's violence towards me or my writing." And so she left my dad. And then my dad, 15 years ago, uh, 45 years after he left, he regrets losing his wife and losing his children because of his violence. And so I know my mom would say they wage war against our children and our families, against our love and our art and our cultures and our ceremonies. And so I'm determined that we will win,